Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, GhostGower20 here, and that's not my actual intro. That's probably because, been a while, huh? Yeah, for those that didn't know, really, well, I don't think I ever told you guys, really. The place where I'm recording right now, which is a room, it's actually no longer my room. I gave this room away to a family member of mine, and because she needed it more than me. So long story short, besides, that's personal stuff, I live somewhere else that I am not really comfortable, or I don't have the perfect time to record, so that's why it's been a couple of months, really. And it might be like that for a while, so if I don't upload for a while, guys, I'm really sorry. But right now, this is the best chance right now because I have the room for a couple of days, and I'll try to make some videos if I can. Hopefully. Wish me luck, but until then, this is a new review, actually, and I was going to review a different figure, which was going to be a specific Rise of the Beast figure. But a friend of mine requested this one, actually. And this is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Animated Universe Prowl. And, oh man, I was actually really excited to have animated figures in the line. And at the same time, a little scared, actually. Why? Well, hopefully we'll cover that in the end of the review, hopefully. Well, we'll see how that goes. But without further ado, let's take a look at Prowl here. And yeah, he's one of those figures that's been stylized for the Generations line with Prime and animated, sadly. I say sadly because, again, I do have personal feelings about this stylized thing. I do. But the only ones that are... Oh, sorry, there's a little dust right there. It's been a while since I had this guy on the shelf. But, again, I'll cover that up later. I'll save it for the last. But this is his motorcycle mode. And, to be honest, for a stylized motorcycle supposed to be animated, this looks really good. And it really does bring it back to the old days in animated. Man, if you guys didn't know, I was a huge animated fan when I was a kid. I even, slept during school, really, to watch this show in 6 a.m. I know, crazy. I used to watch the show at 6 a.m. in Cartoon Network when it first aired. Well, not really aired, but what I mean is that I'll try to make it as possible. I was a little kid. I had to watch everything from Adult Swim from the night to 6 a.m. in the morning to watch an episode of animated. Because I didn't know about computers at the time, so I thought that in 6 a.m., new Transformers animated episodes will come out that time. And I slept a lot during school, but it was all worth it. Good memories. But overall, nicely painted. Nice looking motorcycle, except for this. I'll be honest. Even the old toy did better than this. I don't know why this is the case, but it is what it is. And you're probably wondering, this is more gold painted, looks nicer than this side, which we'll get to that in the robot mode, because this is more appropriate in robot mode than it is in motorcycle mode. Overall, I really like it. This looks good as well. I love that. The siren lights look so good. And he does have this thing on here, so if you do that, he rolls. He can, but the thing is, by himself, not so much. So, there's that. But do be careful because the paint can chip. That's been there for a while. So, do be careful with that. So, there he is in his bike mode. Pretty dang good, if I'll be honest. Again, it's not full-on perfect to how he looked in the show, but it's close enough. And I like that. And I'm okay with that, really. So, let's get to comparison. And for size comparison, here is Prowl with Rise of the Beast Bumblebee from Studio Series. And you can see he's pretty damn big, especially compared to someone like Legacy Point Blank here. And yep, that's a big motorcycle, but it is what it is, really, because it can't really be accurate size because that's more like a core class thing. Prowl here from Animated, he wasn't exactly that small. He was actually a pretty big robot for a motorcycle. So it is what it is, really. And for the recent figures I picked up recently, this is the War for Cybertron Optimus Prime for Studio Series Gamer Edition line, which hopefully, I really mean hopefully, I get to this guy, specific figure, soon enough. I love this thing. But there's a Prowl. So, he looks pretty good. pretty good for a giant motorcycle. So let's get to transformation, shall we? Okay. This one, it gets a little while to get used to, really. So let's do what we can here. So what you want to do here is open these legs. Make sure you just like a gap so you can pick it off like that. Again, this is not easy at first. You had to do a lot of detaching and untabbing here. So just do that. But stretch it. You might have to stretch it, but not too much because you don't want to damage your figure. Just do that. Fold this down like so. Same thing here. And then for this one, you're going to leave this alone for a little bit. Because once you do that, you're going to turn this down around here. I say leave this alone, but you have to move this down like that. And then what you want to do now is this. Sorry, it looks like I'm not really knowing what I'm doing. I'm just trying to make sure everything's right, you know. So I got that out of the way. Now you want to move these up, these arms up. And then now you want to, before you do it, make sure this is like this. Because if you don't do that, you will have problems. Just swing this down. And make sure the head here, the head can be a little tricky here. Because it can get stuck. What you want to do is just make sure the head is like looking up like this. And then the swing, like so. Just make sure everything is good and boom, there you go. Oh, now you move these wings up now. And there you go. Move his head down. Line everything up like it is. Move this up. And then unfold the arms like so. Yeah, again, it's a little tricky. Like you're trying to understand how you're gonna move things around. It's not the best transformation, but it is, you know, it does its job. So now you have animated Prowl and his robot mode, and oh boy, you know, for a stylized figure, it looks very close how it looked in the show, kind of. But man, I am pretty happy what we got. So let's take a look at this face sculpt, shall we? And look at that stylized head sculpt. Again, I'm going to try to cover this up in the end of the video as much as I can, hopefully. But out of all the stylized designs for the Legacy line for Animated and Prime, this is the most decent one, I'd say. Because it is blocky, it does look more G1-like, but he does have the visor, the golden crest there, the silver part right there as well, and the big chin. That's the one thing. I know people might not like the chin, but for me, it was an animated. You have to have the big chin, like it or not. So I'm glad this was carried here. Make a chin. So there's that. Everything else though looks really, really nice. Beautiful. Like the gold, the extra detail, the Audible logo especially. That looks weird. That's the one thing I will say. I'm very, very happy with the logo we got because if you remember back then, the old toys and animated, as much as I love those figures, was not a big fan of how the Autobot logos were and the Decepticon logos. They were like not red or purple like this. They were more like gold or silver, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really more like it, really. So Hasbro, keep it up. The eyes a little bit too big, I'd say, because he was more slender and slim in the show. But they're trying to make things, you know, match more for the Legacy line with the G1 characters and Beast Wars characters, I guess, for what we got in Kingdom and the War of Cybertron trilogy, mostly. So, I guess, but you know what? Again, he does look very nice. Arms look good. Yeah, this is hollow, but they gotta do something for moving his arm around somehow, so there's that. Feet look good. And I'll admit, the feet look kind of weird, like, honestly. Sometimes it looks like a duck feet because there's tabs. This one looks a bit normal. But you can't have everything, you know? It's really nice. And this, you could do whatever you want, really. You could keep it like this or up like so. I like this more because you can, you know, turn the waist around more easier. But the one thing I don't really like is these here. I wish there was a way they can move this around somewhere, not here. But compromises have to be a thing. So it is what it is. So articulation now for this guy. His head could go up and down, side to side, wiggle around because this is all a ball joint. So very nice, really. You could do some good poses with this head. So that's always welcome. Arms move 360 degrees. Move like so. Swivel right here. Bicep bend. And there you go. No wrist swivel, sadly. So it is what it is. Waist swivel right there. And the legs could kick like that far, and that's really nice. And I'll get to that pose in a little bit, actually. So you could do that, which is pretty good kick. And then knee bend like so. Go back. That's really, very nice. Very good. Not bicep, thigh swivel. Again, knees can bend like so. And because of this, it's for transformation, the shins can move. If you want them to have a different pose ability too. Ankle pivot. And there's so, because they're ball joints. So you get a lot of posability for this guy. Posability is really amazing on this. And I love it. Look, you can even do this too. Look at that. That is sick. But I do want to do something real quick. Because since he is a ninja and animated, I want to try. Which I did before, but I want to show you guys. So let me do this. And bada bing. Bada boom. It takes a lot of balancing. And boom! There you go! He can do this pose. And that looks sick. Hasbro, Takara, whoever designed this figure with the posability and all that, you did great. And this looks phenomenal. But I really hope... Oh, hold on. There you go. Anyways, I really hope no one bothers someone like this in a pose. Otherwise, that would be pretty disrespectful, in my opinion. The slug? Oh. I don't believe we Autobots need this type of treatment. You, don't get me wrong, you feel refreshing, relaxed, and calm. As much as I'd like that, we soldiers have to keep fighting with courageous bravery and... Oh! Oh, what the slag? It's called being in a trance. You should try it sometime, Point Blank. Otherwise, you're too blind with your own pride. And just like that, my pride has been wounded. Oh, I can't believe this happened to me. I really am losing my touch, aren't I? Yeah, when somebody's in the trance, do not interrupt them. It's very rude. Anyways, so the biggest thing about this figure, and this is its accessories. Right here, you see, why does it look a little bit weird and not gold like the others? That's because this is his Evil Fusion gimmick. Take it off, nice and gold paint. But what you get here is, if you do it right, I'll admit, this is kind of like not the best engineering weapon, sadly, but it does a job for what it can do. If it does it right, Ninja Star. And look at that, for once it did a good job. So there you go, he has a Ninja Star. And he can barely hold it in this hand, which is kind of a shame, but he does have two, not one, but two of these Ninja Star blades. And for this arm, oh, see, there you go. This hand here, I mean, it is like not like this one. That's because this one you do have him hold it like this. I wish both of the arms like that, but I guess they want to have one arm holding weapons and all that. But you don't really need that. Before I know what it looks like, well then I have this here. So I guess you can have him hold a weapon. It's not too shabby, but nah. All he needs is this. This is all he needs. And me personally, I absolutely love this gimmick. I mean, it's not perfect. I mean, I've seen better. The original is better, but it's a very nice thought that they put for this. I mean, I'd rather take this than a regular weapon any day. So, there's that. I like to put this one here because his other hand can't hold it. So, this will definitely do. And I really love this. Really, really cool, Hasbro. Thank you so much for that. And here he is in size comparison with the Legacy Point Blank we saw in the skit, with Takara Legends Peacemaker. And yes, that's the Japanese Takara Target Master Peacemaker, not the Legacy one we get. This thing is... bleh. This is better. So, there's that. And because I don't have Bombi right now for me anymore, he's in the shelf again. Here he is with Legacy Shrapnel, which is the same wavemate. So, that's pretty cool. And he scales pretty well. He's basically a typical size Deluxe, except point blank here is a big Deluxe, which I do appreciate. So, there you go. And lastly, here he is with the Studio Series Gamer Edition War for Cybertron Optimus Prime. That's a long name, but there he is. And he looks really good with Optimus Prime, though. This Optimus Prime figure, man, if you don't have him, get him. He is amazing! And we have Legacy Skyquake from the Prime universe. And yeah, man, I wish they have their actual designs from what they look in the show, but I'll admit, these two here are the best looking ones out of the Legacy line, which is redesigned from Animated and Prime, etc. These two, they're really good, and probably the only ones I'll be getting, unless Animated for Legacy becomes good as this. For Prime, this is all I'm getting maybe. Why? Well, after review, I'll explain. So, there's a size comparison. It looks very good. Before I actually do end off the video here, I just want to show this off. Animated Prowl versus Prime Skyquake. Given it all they got, this just looks so cool. Again, these are the two figures I'm very happy with. And now, without you know, making more disruptions or delays, let's get to the ending, shall we? So, final verdict on Transformers Legacy Animated Universe Prowl. This is definitely the best version for the stylized Transformer characters for this Legacy Evolution, or just Legacy in general line. Prowl here really surprised me. I'll be honest, at first I was not sold when I first saw his design. I was rather disappointed because I'm more biased with Transformers Animated more than I am with Prime for a lot of people. So when I saw his design at first, I was like, oh, looks good, but just eh. A couple friends of mine were more praising this figure, saying this looks amazing, looks great. And I'm like, yeah, the head looks weird, but the head really grew on me. So, without a doubt, that I grew with the head. But if we did get upgrade kits, though, I would not be mad. I would probably check them out if they're good. But still, what we got, it's still great, and I'm still grateful for what we got. But overall, the motorcycle mode, it looks good. Could have been better in some areas, especially the one I mentioned. The motorcycle's still good. Sizing, it's how it's left to be desired for you, if you like it or not. Transformation can be a little bit of a hassle at first, but you'll get used to it in the future. And roll mode looks very nice. Articulation is amazing. It's very, very nice. One of the best Transformers articulation I've had in a while. Accessories, they could have executed a bit better, but it's a very nice thought that they give them the Star Blades. The Ninja Star Blades, really. It's a very nice thought, and Hasbro, thank you for that. Again, thank you. So, overall, this figure is really, really good. I'm going to give this figure a 10 out of 10, actually. Well, actually 9, really. Just 9 out of 10. Because the figure is amazing. It almost could have been 10 out of 10. It's just, yeah, these things could have been better. But again, no matter what, very nice thought. I love that. So, there you go. This is it for Animated Prowl. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And let's get to the thing I was talking about. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while. So, in Legacy, we got announcements that we'll be getting different universes like Prime, Armada, basically Unicorn Trilogy, really. And a lot of us didn't know we're getting animated or not, because we thought we might never get animated. So Prime was what we got. At first, me and my friends back then, we were pretty hyped. No joke. We were like, finally, animated Prime figures, really. Because again, I'm sorry about the anime part. There was no answer or for sure we're getting animated at the time. But for Prime, we were excited. But when those leaks or first reviews with Bulkhead and RC came out, I was not pleased. And a lot of my friends weren't pleased as well. A couple of them were. And I'll get this right now. I'll say this right here, right now. If you do like the redesigns for the Prime characters, more power to you. You're perfectly fine if you love them. No one's mad at you for it. But for me, I just think they look pretty mediocre and just not that good. Bulkhead looks like a freaking transformer trying to cosplay as Bulkhead, but has a box instead of like a round body. It's like they really have a box for a chest for Bulkhead. I really didn't like that. I see that. What did they do to her? It's just, I really did not like the way she looked. I'll admit the head is kind of growing on me, but everything else just looks, just. But again, for those of you that like it, it's perfectly fine. Don't feel discouraged. Don't feel like you have to get rid of it. No, if you love it, that's great. That's perfectly fine. I just don't like it. And even Knockout, sadly. And I know a lot of people are going to say, Knockout? He's probably the best looking one. Not to me, he doesn't. I'm sorry. All I see is Jazz. Basically someone trying to be like Jazz, but trying to be cool, but it's not really. So, for the Prime characters, I did not like them. I really didn't. And it's a shame because the Armada universe is getting way better figures. The Armada universe is getting way better figures. They look more like how they look in the anime or show. So that sucks. And for Prowl here, he was getting the same treatment. I was a little bit terrified when I heard leaks about Prowl. But then we saw this. I think this is because they heard about the criticisms and the complaints. So if this is the case, then I'm thankful that Prowl got to be one of the better figures, including Skyquake here, which I don't have him anymore, which I do. It's just, I don't want to bring him out, but he's right here. It's just, freaking, why not? Skyquake. He's pretty good. I do like him, but he does have issues himself. But that's another time, hopefully. Overall, Prowl, he's one of the better ones that's been redesigned, and I'm good with this. I really like it. As long as it screams the character, I'm happy. But just Bulkhead, RC, and Knockout were just not the best ones. And I'm sorry to say this, but I probably will not pick those guys up, or girl up as well. Not gonna pick those figures up at all. Just not my cup of tea. Unless I find them for free or buy them on clearance. Not buying them. Not spending a single dime on retail price. But this, I will. So in the end, there it is. Sorry about the rant, guys. I just had to get my opinion out there because I'm really just not a big fan of the redesigns of Prime. But animated is going good so far. So, there's that. It's 9 out of 10. Pick them up if you can. If you get them, you will love them. Especially if you're an animated fan like I am. So, there's that. Hope you guys will review, and I'll see you guys next time. Goes Go 20 out.